Alright, hey guys, this is me Rachit and welcome to yet another video. Today I will be talking about this that we have over here. Python, Vim, Bash, Shell, scripting. I think these are fantastic tools for software developers when you're talking about automation or you have to do some personal stuff but you want to use technology to save a lot of time. For example, I use a lot of shell scripting to basically extract all the images that I have in all of my folders in one place, so that basically I can have one dump collection of all the images that I have throughout my life. So these are some of the things which I feel if you are really proficient with them, you can save a lot of time. Like, you don't have to Google every now and then how you do that, and it really opens yourself also to new ideas, like this particular thing that I'm talking about. Like when I plug in my phone to this laptop, and then I have so many photos in my phone. So I simply run one command to extract all the images from my phone and dump them to that particular location in my laptop where I have all the images. So it's really convenient for me to do such projects or do such ideas. And I think what I want to do in this video is basically pour down some ideas into your mind as well, and so that you can, as a software developer or as a programmer, start to get around what's happening around the world and what are these kind of things that these technologies enable. And I think for experimentation purposes, Python, Vim and Bash scripting is like a real perfect trio. So my name is Rachit Jain, and I have opened this file in Vim, which is a text editor, but I really love it because like the learning curve for Vim is, I would say, really very difficult, but once you learn it, it's so damn good and it saves me a lot of time. For example, I really don't have to use my mouse, and I can go to any XYZ place in this particular file within just 2 or 3 keystrokes. Now for example, right now I am over here, as you can see, in the scripting this particular word. Now let's say I want to go at the starting of the file, so I just press GG and I am at the top. Then now let's say I have to come on this this empty line between electrical and Python. So that's the 6th line from the current position, so I press 6 and J and I am down. So I have turned on relative numbering in Vim. So what you see over here is like this is the real line number for this particular line I am at. So I am at line 7 right now, and all the numbers above this are 1 2 3 4 5 6, just to enable easy movement. So now let's say if I have to go to this line profession, I can simply press 5k to go up. And if I have to, now the wonderful thing is, now let's say I want to come to this software word. Like, how do I do that? So I can simply press FW and damn, I am over here. Like, it's perfectly exactly taking me where I want to. Now let's say I want to change my profession right now, like it's in quotes and I want to change this. So in normal text editors, what we can do is we can select this and press delete. It's fine, it works, but sometimes you select more of it, you sometimes less, like you select less of it. But in Vim, and as a programmer, I really love, like, I simply have to press CI quotes and damn, it automatically also brought me to insert mode because I have pressed CI quotes, which means change whatever I have in quotes. And now I can press anything, like maybe software engineer. Oops, software engineer. Alright. Another thing is that if I have to navigate back, I can simply press BB. Now I am traveling back word by word, and W to navigate in front. So now let's say if you have to capitalize the S and E of software engineer. So basically in Vim you have something like this, which automatically toggles the upper and lower case of the characters. So basically to do that, like, you can also use macros. So let's say if you have to do this, what I can do is go back. I can simply press QQ to start the recording of the macro, and then I can simply just press the transformation character key and then simply quit this. And now if I have to do this multiple times, let's say I have to do this operation 10 times, so I can press 10 and then I can call this macro by @Q, and damn, it did 10 characters, same uppercase transformation. So that's the power of Vim. You can do so many things, and if this really does not make sense to you, it's fine. Vim is a bit difficult to get started with, and in this tutorial I just wanted to open your mind to the new ideas that exist and how they can save a lot of time. Now for example, as you can see over here, I have a typo. like this company is direct I, right? Not direct I, the T is missing over there. So now if I have to go over there, right now I am at the software word, so I can simply see that I have to go 3 lines down, so 3J, and I am here, and then simply press F dash. Bam, I am again at the exact location where I want, and if I have to change this, I can simply press now I and T, and we have the perfect word that we wanted. So guys, this is the power of Vim. I really love it. I really use it a lot. And now again, if I have to change this, so I can say change in quotes, and I can press maybe direct I. I'm not sure why am I doing that, but now just taking this to next level, I can also change the complete array that we have over here. I can press change in brackets, and bam, the complete array is gone, and I can now again type something. Right, so this is the power, guys. It's super time saving, and I really recommend you to learn Vim. And of course, if you are just starting, I would say definitely invest your time in learning Vim, because once you have some professional experience, I think some people develop this hesitation to just use the technology they have around themselves. I think in the longer run, to be a successful software engineer, you have to try different technologies that exist out there and be top notch in all of them. If not in all of them, but but what I mean is be a little proficient, like you know how to use them, and some other, so like be proficient in a way that you are able to use them to make your work productive. Anyways, guys, moving on to this particular question that we have. So the question looks something like this. Now navigating to that 13J, and bam, I'm here. So find 4 weights A, B, C and D which can be used to weight all weights from 1 kg, 2 kg, so and on up to 40 kgs. So for example, what it means is that you have a weighing balance, like you can see the shape over here. Sorry for the bad drawing. So like for 5 kg and 7 kgs, you can use them to also measure 12 kgs if you use them, like if you combine them, right? And you can also measure 2 kgs. How can you measure 2 kgs? I will quickly show you that. So now for example, you can place the 7 kg on this side of the weighing balance, and then press and then keep 5 on this side. So now effectively, since 7 is there and 5 is here, now you can effectively measure 2 kgs as well. So the question is basically to use just 4 weights so that you can measure all weights from 1 to 40. One interesting fact that I want to highlight over here is, let me just add some new lines. Alright, so what I want to stress over here is something like when you have 5 and 7, actually you can measure 4 weights, right? 5, 7, 12 and 2. And why this is true is, so basically 5 and 7 are contributing in some way or the other. Maybe in positive 1, maybe 0 or negative 1. For example, if you can measure 5, it's because it's 5 star 1 plus 7 star 0. You can measure 7 similarly because the contribution of 5 is 0 this time, and the contribution of 7 is 1. Similarly, 12 is possible because of contribution of 1 from both of the numbers, and then 2 is possible because of a negative 1 contribution of 5, and then a positive contribution of 1 from 7. So basically, how many weights you have, those weights can be contributing in different ways, like 1, 0 and -1. So you will have different scenarios, and basically using those different scenarios, you have to ensure that those 4 weights that you have chosen are able to measure 1 kg, so and on up to 40 kgs. So now let's quickly see how we can do this with Python. Like if you really look at this as a mathematical problem, I'm sure you can come up with some solution. But I feel that as a software engineer, or like when this is asked in coding interviews, I mean in the coding interview test section where you are also allowed to code, I think it's super easy to use Python so quickly to get a solution. I really don't want to discourage you to try this out on your own, and if you are really interested by the problem, feel free to pause this video and try to find out some solution first. Anyways, I'm a firm believer of using Python for all such things, so here is the demo for that. So I am having a weights array. I have filled it with 5 and 7, and then I am saying that what all weights I can measure, I am storing in this variable measured. Now what I'm doing is using iter tools, which is so damn powerful in Python. And what it does is basically it can do a lot of things. Like I can use the iter tools to iterate on an array, but I can generate all the possible permutations of the array. Or basically if I have 10 elements, I can simply iterate on all the possible combinations I can have if I have to select just 4 elements out of those 10. So in this way, iter-tools is super powerful. Similarly, we have product thing, which is different from combinations and permutations. What it does is basically, so we have three numbers, 1, 0 and -1, and I am saying repeat 2. What this will do is it will generate all possible sequences of length 2 such that every element in that length 2 is either one of these 1, 0 and -1. Okay guys, so the numbers can repeat. In basically what I mean by that is, if I quickly close this, open the Python shell, import iter-tools as it, and then just before that, so this video is being sponsored by AlgoExpert, and if you go to algoexpert.io/Rachit, you will see some beautiful message like this: welcome to AlgoExpert, Rachit Jain viewers, don't forget to use promo code Rachit for 30% discount. So make sure you use this particular coupon for discount. And what this does is basically, it's a great website for acing your coding interviews. It has been created by developers from Google and Uber, but currently one of them has left Google to join Facebook. Really talented folks, and this website is really awesome. So they have 70 questions. You can see like they have divided them into various categories. You can also basically group by category. You can see arrays, binary search trees, dynamic programming, heaps, graphs, and all those things. And the beautiful thing about that is, if you open some particular problem, you have this problem statement, you can write the solution, you can see their solution as well in various languages like Go, Java, JavaScript and Python. And not only that, you can write your own solution to check whether you are able to solve this problem. They also have hints. I think, let me show you one. So they have multiple hints also over here, and on the bottom is a beautiful video which is really very long, right? 30 minutes long. And what it is basically super informative video for every problem. So 70 problem means 70 videos. They have solutions for each and one of them. They also have solution code for them, and they really drill down into basics like time complexity, how beginners will approach this, what are the first thoughts that come to your mind when you see this problem, why that won't work, then how do we proceed. So if you are really struggling with coding interviews, this is really something which I also recommend to my personal relatives and friends, guys. So go to algoexpert.io/Rachit and take your 30% discount. Alright, coming back. So just to give you a sense of what iter-tools can do. Now let's say if I have something like A is 1, 2 and 3. So for X in it dot, let's say permutations. So permutations of this array A, I want you to print that. So it prints all the permutations, right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 2, so and on. So similarly, what products does is, let me show you. So product A repeat is equal to 2, and then print X. Awesome. So as I'm saying, repeat 2 means I want 2 length sequences, and every element in that sequence of basically 2 length will, so all the element in that 2 length will be elements of this particular array A. So in this case, we have all these sequences of length 2, but every element in that is coming from our array, and the numbers can repeat, right? So coming back, let me close this, and we are back to our demo, which is in solution.py, right? So what I'm doing is, I have 5 kgs and 7 kgs. I am saying that this is the set that I'm storing for the possible weights that I can measure using these 5 and 7. And what I'm doing is, since every number can contribute in either of 1, 0 and -1, I am iterating on all the possible sequences for length 2, because I have 2 weights right now. And then I'm calculating what is the current sum which can be formed. So 5 into factor 0. So I'm iterating on the factor over here, like all the possible sequences of length 2 of 1, 0 and -1. And then the other factor will be for 7, and I calculate the current sum, and if that is positive, so that's one of the weights that we can measure using 5 and 7. So I add that to my measured set over here, and finally I print measure. So let's quickly run this to see what happens. So what we can do is invoke the Python shell. Alright, import solution, and then we can do solution.demo, and that exactly prints 2, 12, 5 and 7, which we were expecting. Now let's quickly solve this problem for the initial problem that we had for 1 to 40 kgs using 4 weights. So dev solve. So basically now we have weights is X for x in range 1 to 41, right? So these are like, we have to measure everything from 1 to 40. So one thing that we can do is all the possible sequences of length 4, we can store that using what we have discussed above. So x for x in it dot combinations. So of these weights, I want to choose 4 of them. So that's what is happening over here. So in all sequences, I'm generating all the possible sequences that I can have of 4 weights from the list of 1 to 40 kgs. So out of like, we will have so many sequences over here. So out of them, maybe one of them is giving the answer, in which it can be used in a variety of ways, like a plus b plus c plus d should be 40, then a plus b minus c minus d will be maybe 23. So in this way, using this contribution of 1, 0 and minus 1 for a, b, c and d, we should be able to measure every weight from 1 kg to 40 kg. So all the possible sequences, or all the answer will be 1 in this all sequence list. We can narrow this down actually, so we can pick only that one whose sum is 40, right? So a plus b plus c plus d should be 40, because we have to measure from 1 to 40. Alright, so now we have narrowed this down. Now let's quickly check what are the possible candidates that we have. If we have just 2 or 3 of them, maybe we can just see manually if that works. Alright, so Python, I would say import sol, and then sol.solve. Oh my god, 297. Fine, so we can't do this manually. So we have 297 candidates which can be, so the solution can be one of them. Alright, so we have 4 weight sequences now. Now we have to iterate on them and then basically solve our get our answer. So let's iterate on them. For sequence in all sequences, then what we can do is, so the tab is not correctly set, so set tab stop equals 4. Yeah, much better. Alright, so for sequence in all sequences, now we need to iterate on all the contribution factors, like over here we did, right? So we need to do this. So for factor in it dot product, again 1, 0, minus 1. In this case, we want to generate sequences of length 4 because we have 4 weights. And then current sum can be nothing but sequence 0 star factor 0 plus sequence 1 into factor 1 plus sequence 2 into factor 2, and so on. Just to be a bit lazy, we can do sequence I, so sum of this. So for I in range 4. Awesome guys, this is working. Again, another use of Vim, like you can see this syntax highlighting, right? But right now I am here, right? So now let's say I have to go to this particular bracket over here. So I can simply press percentage and I am here now. So percentage can toggle between the brackets. So coming back to the ending one, so now we are here. So now what we can do is, oops, why do we have double indentation? Yeah. So if current sum is greater than 0, then this is one of the possible thing that we have measured. So measure dot add cur sum. What is measured? We have not defined it. So for this particular sequence right over here, we want to define this bad boy, measured equal to empty set right now, and post this iteration, this will be filled up. So most likely over here, if length of measured is 40, then the particular sequence is a winner. So print winner sequence is, and then probably we can print the sequence, which is sequence. Alright guys, and probably once we have done that, we can break. No need to loop in further. Let's quickly see if this is working. So Python import sol. Let me clear the screen. Alright, so now sol.solve. Boom, 139 and 27. Awesome guys. Now is this correct or not? Let's quickly check. So of course the sum of them is 40. If you have to measure 1, you can simply use 1. If you have to measure 2, you can do 3 minus 1. If you have to measure 3, we have 3. If you have to measure 4, then 3 plus 1 is giving that. Similarly, if you have to measure 5, then 9 minus 3 minus 1 is giving 5. If you have to measure 6, 9 minus 3 is giving that. If you have to measure 7, you can do 9 minus 3 to get to 6, then add 1. So guys, in this way you can measure everything from 1 all the way to 40. And I hope this video was fun to solve, fun to watch I mean, and the problem was fun to solve. Let me know in comments what you think about this, and if you have any further suggestions, feel free to write in comments, and I will see you next time. Don't forget guys, AlgoExpert.io/Rachit for 30% discount, and this website is like really amazing. You can check the reviews of other people as well. They have been like really satisfied with the product and really acing their coding interviews at huge big tech brands. Alright guys, that's all I had for this video, and I will see you in the next one.